Hello, I am Mustafa Sungar. Today we will talk about mass movements together.
Planet Earth. Our home, hosting all kinds of living beings since millions of years, is constantly changing. Earth, capable of eradicating the systems of most complex kinds as we know it, will be our home only if we care about it. Despite our resources, the natural disasters which hindering our daily lives, causing loss of life and properties, will always occur and cannot be prevented. Disasters happening due to weather conditions are called meteorological disasters. Out of 31 natural disasters occurring, 28 of them happens to be meteorological disasters. Flood, hailstorm, frost and forest fires are only a few of these. Today's topic is Earthfall.
Mass movement is the downhill movement of soil due to man-made or natural causes. Mass movement can cause casualties and wreck roads, workplace, and properties. It should not be forgotten that the mass movement is more common where the slope is also steep. If the movement is happening on the ground level, this is called a creep. If the movement includes the bedrock under the surface, it is called a landslide. Technically, a landslide occurs due to fall of any rocks, rubble, and debris under the soil layer by Earth's gravity. There are many reasons setting of mass movement. These are divided into two as natural causes and man-made causes. The examples to the natural causes are mighty quakes, drift between the rocks and the ground due to climate change, and rainfall. The man-made causes setting of landslides are human activities and man-made slopes. What is slope? The angled surfaces are called slopes. Slopes can be either man-made or occur naturally. For example, concrete dam is a man-made slope. Stability is the state an object or a mass retaining its current position. When the composition of a slope slides down due to gravity, it is called slope instability. Mass movements are divided into various groups depending on internal and external factors. A fall is a mass movement because it includes events such as rockfalls off steep hillsides, valleys, sea cliffs, and lakeslides due to internal and external factors turn over. It is seen that this natural phenomenon is happening due to temperature and pressure changes. When a rock rolls and turns over by gravity, and it is called rollover. Compared to rollover, a fall is called when a mass of rock keeps moving after its fall. Another kind of mass movement is called the slide. It feels like as if the ground beneath your feet is being pulled off like a carpet in direction of the slope. Mud flow is advance of a mass of mud with all the debris and materials of all kinds creating its own path. At the same time as the mass of mud dries, it crumbles in large blocks. When the flow includes slides of large blocks, it is called lateral spreading. In contrary to other types of landslides, lateral spreading does not depend on any kind of slope to move. A creep is called the very slow displacement of the soil layer over an extended time. For example, power lines, fences, occasional cracks on the roads are results of this movement. In this particular case, everything happens in a very slow fashion and in a very long period of time. The major causes of creeping are gravity, underground waters, rainfall, frost, and sudden exsolution, and the activities of our lovely friends, moles. Dissolution of limestone because of mass movement, gravitational movement, rainfall, sudden meltdown, and frost can cause immediate gaps and cavities underground. This is called cave-in. Sinkholes are caused by such cave-ins. When you're faced with such a situation, you may not find your car in its place when you wake up in the morning. If you observe more than one type of mass movements mentioned so far in the same zone, run away because you are facing what we call the complex mass movement. How can we predict when or where a landslide will happen? If you are observing any subsurface water leakage, if there are cracks or damage on the soil or the field, if the topography has holes on the surface or is wavy, if there are sudden changes on the slope, if there is terracing on the field, if there are slopes, if there is wave-like field, if there are broken or cracked water pipes, if the base of the building has cracks or there are growing cracks on the walls. If the area has a history of landslides, the risk is still there. The area must be evacuated. It is crucial to map risky areas and documenting any landslides in order to prevent any future disaster that may occur. The soil movement of landslide has to be redirected in order to prevent any damage to residential areas and fields. To control this movement, walls and terraces can be constructed and controlled demolitions can be conducted with aid of helicopters. To mitigate the negative impacts of landslides, we must establish residential areas and cities with the appropriate construction methods and according to landslide sensitivity maps. Slopes and steep hillsides must be corrected. For the new areas created with disregard of natural drainage, future measures must be taken by observation and evaluation following construction of a new drainage. The frequency of landslides is increasing by each day. Urban sprawl, non-regulated use of field, increased rainfall due to climate change and loss of forest amplifies the impact of landslides. The trees in the forests provide firmness for the soil with their roots. Also, the dead layer, which is the floor of the forest, can contain water mass up to 10 times of its own weight. This way, any landslide that might be set off by a rain is prevented. Imagine a landslide happening. Do you know what to do? If you are indoors during a landslide and have enough time to evacuate, you should leave the building immediately. If you had no chance to evacuate your building, you should stay put by doing drop, cover, hold on, and wait for the movement to cease. If you are outdoors, try to run away. If you don't have time to escape, avoid the direction of landslides. You should alarm people around you about the landslide. Next, avoid standing next to walls or buildings with roofs and practice drop, cover, hold on action to cover your neck and head. Check yourself for any injuries after the landslide ceases and evacuate the hazard zone. Turn off any valves and switches off electricity, water, and gas. Matches or lighters shouldn't be used in case of any gas leakage. Other than the fires and any emergency, injured individuals must not be treated. Help must be called out. Hotlines mustn't be occupied unnecessarily. Roads and streets must be left open for the help on the way. Any directives from the authorities should be noticed on TVs and radios. Avoid entering back into damaged buildings to recover valuable belongings. Today we talked about mass movements. In order to survive landslides without being harmed, we have to know our surroundings well first. Then, we can secure ourselves and others around us by exercising drop, cover, hold on moves. Education is better with Red Crescent. And thank you.
The constant change of the world is a natural thing, and so are the natural disasters. Therefore, they'll always continue to be a part of our lives. If we take the necessary precautions and be prepared for them, we could mitigate the loss of lives and properties, having learned to exist harmoniously in the nature. If we happen to be competent in times of crisis, desperation won't be an option no more.